to play tonight with the Brewers, the second best home run hitting team in the National League, in town tonight. And it all starts with Craig Counsell, their leadoff man and second baseman, and Counsell having a good year at the plate. Much different looking stance for Craig Counsell. Seems like he's a man of 1,000 stances. Remember how he used to wrap the bat in his hands in a very odd hitting position at the start?
Yeah, he tried to turn himself into a pretzel, but he's calmed that down a little bit.
That ball squibbed towards short, and Escobar takes care of Counsell. There's your first out tonight.
Here's the defense for the Braves. You just saw Escobar at shortstop. The outfield tonight, a new look with Nate McLouth in center field, flanked by Anderson and Francoeur. McLouth, of course, a Gold Glover last year. Third to first, Jones, Escobar, Johnson, and Martin Prado still playing over there for Casey Kochman. Brian McCann will do the catching. Nate McLouth, fresh new uniform, wearing number 13 for the Braves.
Obviously not superstitious, is he? Big strike to J.J. Hardy. He's got to feel like this is Christmas, New Year's, and your birthday all wrapped up into one. Remember, his would-be final game with the Pirates was rained out against the Mets. He was rained out here last night. Now finally gets to start afresh with Atlanta. And he has said, Joe, it's a fresh breath of air for him.
And he also, there were some interesting comments, and not altogether surprising, about his departure from Pittsburgh, saying, you know, I came up in that organization. I've been there 10 years. I'm going to miss these guys, but I'm looking forward to the new adventure in Atlanta.
And hopefully that's one that involves winning, which has been a problem, as you know, for the Pirates. And as happy as McLouth was to be a Brave, his former Pirate teammates were not as happy today. Yet another chance for fans to fall in love with a player and then see him shipped off to another club in the National League. As Hardy's down swinging, 2 up and 2 men down.
An all-star last year, a guy who steals a lot of bases, but as Mike Gonzalez learned earlier this year, he can hit left-handed pitching too. The long home run, 5-tool player, and for a guy with that kind of pop and production, he's not a big guy. About 5'10", 5'11".
Kind of Brian Giles-ish like.
Very.
Without the barrel chest, perhaps, or the Southern California suntan, as Ryan Braun leads things off for Milwaukee with safely in 6 of 7, 10 homers, 34 knocked in. And Braun is a brawny guy, and he's not afraid to step into a pitch either. He's been hit 8 times this year.
Good start for Jurgens. Has a good fastball here in the first inning. Threw a couple at 94 to Hardy.
A little extra rest perhaps for JJ after the rain out last night. Did he go? Yes, he did. Marvin Hudson on the appeal at first. Braun didn't think so, and a count of 1-2 to him.
And the check appeal came from Jurgens. He was the one you could probably hear yelling check, check, and he was right. The Brewers 12th in average, but 4th in runs scored because they're on base a lot. They walk a lot, and as Chip said, 2nd in homers.
1 ball, 2 strikes. But they don't hit for a high average. 249 as a team. That's 13th in the league.
They do strike out a lot. Ken Maka named the manager after their playoff run last year. Dale Swaim, who was the interim manager succeeding Ned Yost, remained with the ball club as the hitting coach.
And it really is amazing, I think, that they are where they are. Remember, Ben Sheets, injured, no longer a Brewer. CC Sabathia, they took a shot, tried to win a series with him. Left as a free agent, signed with the Yankees, and here they are, tied for first place with the mighty St. Louis Cardinals.
I don't think anybody expected that. No. Offense, yeah, you expect offense, but not the good pitching.
And how about good pitching from JJ? He gets the Brewers in order in the first. 2 strikeouts to start the game for him.
Gallardo, Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, and Nate McLouth, the first 3. Chipper Jones, last 3 games, 6 RBIs. That's not too shabby. Brian McCann moves down to the 5th spot, followed by Garrett Anderson. Francoeur, Prado, and Jurgens rounded out. Giovanni Gallardo, 23 years old, 6'2", 222. A lot like Jurgens, a little bit bigger guy, out of Fort Worth, Texas, but a guy they desperately missed last year, which kind of prompted some of the pitching moves. He missed most of the year with a knee injury. But they're happy to have him back now, and he's 5-2.
And he is state-of-the-art. A terrific pitcher. League hitting just .202 against him this year. And back to that knee surgery thing, you're right. He blew out his knee trying to field a little roller up the first base line at Wrigley Field last May 1st. Blew out the ACL, came back and pitched a couple of innings.
Yeah. And
that was after he had his left knee worked on in the offseason before the start of the 08 season. So Gallardo with a couple of new hinges has come back in 09, a man on a real mission.
Only 1 first inning run allowed in his last 15 starts. That's the way to get off to a good start each night. Fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. Fastball's around 90 to 92. He'll hit the spots on the inside and outside. He'll move the ball in and out. His curveball sometimes can be a little erratic, but even when it is, Jason Kendall, the veteran catcher, will make him continue to throw it till he gets a good feel for it.
There it was. He gets Johnson with the first out of the ball game. Kelly's retired on strikes, and Gallardo has his first out tonight.
Right over the top, too. Randy Marsh, the home plate umpire, a good umpire to have back there tonight for both of these guys. He'll call strikes.
Yunel Escobar, the Braves shortstop, at .295 with 5 homers and 27 runs driven in, bats next. He brings a 3-game hit streak into play tonight. And by the way, with last night's rainout, they have rescheduled that Braves-Cubs game for June 22nd here at Turner Field, and that will be a night game.
Well, there's some significance to that, too, because that's sandwiched in between Boston, the Yankees, and Boston. I mean, that you're mixing the Cubs in there between 2 American League powerhouses. What a week for the fans.
1 ball, no strikes, and a high towering pop fly. And deep short. Wind has it. Hardy to the first base side of the second base bag. Makes the play.
Here's the defense for Milwaukee. their outfield tonight. Braun, Cameron, and Hart, a good threesome. They can cover some ground. Third to first, the rookie Gamble, Hardy, Counsell, and fielder, Kendall, the catcher, and the fans reacting to the first at bat of Nate McLouth.
McLouth had 9 homers, 34 knocked in with the Pirates. You're a guy that's made a team switch in the big leagues. What's going through your mind in your first at bat with a new ball club?
Well, you just want to get off to a good start. It's not like a guy who just got called up for the minor leagues trying to prove something. He's done it already. But he wants everybody to see that he does have some ability that caused the trade, caused the Braves to want him in the lineup and in center field.
As you'd expect, the Pirates, his former team, the Brewers, in the same division, the National League Central, so they've matched up several times. Now McLouth, 2 balls and a strike.
He's got some real pop in his bat, Chip, and a lot of it comes from a strong bottom hand. He can get the bat extended quickly with that bottom hand.
Oh boy.
Well, he is statuesque when he gets set in the batter's box, too. Doesn't move at all.
And again, he's listed 5'11". I think that's a stretch. I think he's more in the 5'10" range.
Little roller. Gallardo's got it. And he, too, has a perfect 1-2-3 first inning at Turner Field in Atlanta.
Hospital injury report. And for the Braves, Jose Reyes, Omar Infante still on the DL. Campillo went back on the DL just a few days ago. And Casey Kochman still day-to-day, but with a badly bruised shin. Get the perfect balance of health and care at Piedmont Hospital, the preferred health care provider of the Atlanta Braves. Visit PiedmontHospital.org.
Mighty Prince Fielder leads off the second inning and had a sizzling month of May for Milwaukee, a franchise record for RBIs in that month. He drove in 31 men in May.
Slow start in April, made up for it in May. 27 RBIs, Chip, in his last 22 games. That's getting it done.
Already 123 home runs in his major league career. A career .278 hitter. And this will be Fielder's 4th full major league season, believe it or not. Finished third in the MVP race back in 2007. And takes a 5-pitch walk leading off the second inning.
I'm not going to say he looks like he's in great shape, but he looks like he's in better shape than when we saw him in the playoffs following the 2008 season. When he was drafted in the first round, there were a lot of scouts that thought he would never be a major league player because he just didn't have the right body type, and that using the aluminum bat in high school and that big uppercut, it would never translate to professional baseball.
Yeah, they thought, if anything else, maybe a DH in the American League.
Yeah.
But Fielder, you're right. I agree with you. I think looks very good. Look, he's never going to look like Mr. America.
No.
But he's a fine athlete. Don't be fooled by that robust body. Here's Cameron, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike lives in McDonough, Georgia, just south of town. 36 years old is he. And he too having a good year at the plate. 11 home runs for Cameron, 27 driven in. Last year Mike hit 25 bombs and drove in 70.
And he's hit 4 in his last 14 games.
This Milwaukee club, kind of like Atlanta, not one that runs much.
No.
In fact, they're dead last in the league with only 13 stolen bases this year. Ken Maka, a former American League manager, beg your pardon, 12 stolen. Let's see, it's 13 for Milwaukee, 12 for Atlanta, so it's 15 for Milwaukee. The
right.
Braves are 16th, I beg your pardon. But an American League style manager likes to sit back and wait for the 3-run homer. Cameron, the third strikeout victim for Jurgens. And one man is out.
When Jurgens is hitting the corners like this with his fastball, it is a rough night for opposing hitters. Had some tailing action on it. I wasn't sure about that pitch, but looked like it was too close to take. You're right about Maka, though, Chip. They're not going to run much. Both catchers will probably have the series off.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I am sure, for McCann and Kendall. And to Ken Maka's right is Willie Randolph, former Mets manager, who is the bench coach for the Brew Crew this year. Talking with Craig Counsell about the influence of Willie Randolph on this club. He said he just exudes this expectation of winning. His situation in New York aside, Willie played on all those terrific Yankee teams up in the Bronx. He just carries a quiet dignity and expectation of success about him that sort of permeated that Milwaukee locker room. Gamble hits it high in the air to left. Fielder back to first. Yeah, I know you're a character guy. I think we've talked about that a lot. Guys like Willie Randolph could do nothing but help your ball club in a coaching capability.
He's such a good influence.
Yeah.
And we all hated what happened to him in New York. But I think he is a great hire by the Brewers. Good counsel for the manager, too, who is coming over from the American League and really didn't know a whole lot about National League personnel.
Yeah, and if memory serves, Ken Maka said as much. Look, I may need a little help on the double switches and how to handle the bullpen in this league. It's a much different game over in the American League West. But so far, he's got him playing well, and you've got Trevor Hoffman in the 9th inning. You know you've got that covered, don't you?
Golly, he has been something else.
Corey Hart hasn't even counted a ball and a strike.
And there they are, tied with the Cardinals atop the division. Cubs still trying to figure out a way to get untracked.
Houston only 7 games back. That truly is a 6-team race. I mean, that's some pretty good action in that Central.
Right.
And Milwaukee has far and away the best record within the division. They're 21-10 against the rest of the Central Division to this point in the year. Corey Hart into right center field. McLouth is there. He handles his first chance cleanly, and Milwaukee strands its first base runner in a scoreless game tonight.
All-star consideration for a couple of the Braves. Beautiful night to be out there, and it's also time for the know-how question of the game built by the Home Depot. If you have a question, send us an email, and if chosen, we'll answer it later in the game. Send your email to braves@peachtreetv.com, and please tell us your name, where you're from. And remember that more saving, more doing, that's the power of Home Depot.
And now cleanup man. That's right, cleanup man. Chipper Jones leads off the Atlanta second. We are scoreless against Milwaukee. And Gallardo to work. And this is to Chipper. 1 ball, no strikes.
Talked to Chipper last night before the rain out about batting cleanup, and he said he went into Bobby and said, "I'll do whatever you want me to do." He said it won't change my approach any. And he said, you know, if having McLouth bat third means that I might have a few more RBI opportunities, then so be it.
And it's an interesting way to put together your lineup in that most managers want their best hitter up in the first inning and batting third.
Yeah.
So is McLouth going to hit third all year for the Braves?
I wouldn't say, I wouldn't commit to that just yet. I think this is probably it's more than an experiment. Bobby hopes this works like gangbusters. But if it doesn't, then there's some flexibility because of McLouth's speed where he could bat higher in the order if you needed him to, even lead off.
And hitting fourth, as you said, isn't going to affect Chipper Jones one iota. Nor Brian McCann or Garrett Anderson. Doesn't matter to them.
It just makes the lineup so much deeper, pushing everybody down one. Chipper to fourth, McCann to fifth, Anderson to sixth. That's getting pretty solid. Jeff Francoeur showing some signs of swinging the bat more aggressively and having some success. You get Kochman back, that's a very strong bottom of your order.
And one that's mostly left-handed, but most pitchers you see are right-handed. Johan Santana and Cole Hamels, obviously big exceptions within our division. But the lefties in this lineup hit left as well, so it's not as big a deal as most might think.
That's true, and you still have the flexibility of using Matt Diaz and Martin Prado, Omar Infante when he's healthy and can come back, David Ross. You've still got some right-handed hitters that you can plug in there to get some at-bats and not lose much.
Gallardo ready to pitch quickly, but Randy Marsh slows him down now with a count of 1-1, and Chipper Jones a moderate lead over at first.
That was the straight changeup. But he also has a slider. I mean, if his curveball's not to his liking, he might go right to the slider unless Jason Kendall has thoughts otherwise. He's definitely a frontline guy, and who knows, if he'd been healthy, maybe they wouldn't even made the deal for Sabathia last year.
Yeah, Gallardo had what, 4 starts, 5 starts all year, something like that.
4. A 14-7 major league record and a .330 ERA.
Strike 3, outside corner. Boy, both he and Jurgens are painting the outside portion of the strike zone tonight.
How about that? I mean, we're talking about how similar they were and how they work, and hitters from both sides have already had to make some U-turns without any complaints to Randy Marsh because of the good pitches to the corner.
And you know, McCann's not going to say a word there because he wants the same calls for his pitcher, Jurgens. Here's Garrett Anderson with the man aboard and 1 out now. And Garrett takes ball 1.
Come on, Andy.
As the Brewers said, we like it when he's out there. They know they've got a chance to win. Something else about Gallardo. This is his 11th start. In his first 10, you look at the starts in which he lost. He lost 2 games, and he had an ERA of over 11 in those 2. But the other 8, where he either got a win or no decision, is ERA 1.64.
Ground ball right side, might be 2. Hardy with the return throw, and they get Garrett Anderson. 4-6-3 double play, retires the side. We move along to inning number 3. For Milwaukee, that means Jason Kendall, Giovanni Gallardo, and Craig Counsell. Jason Kendall's had himself a fine major league career. Picked up his 2,000th hit a couple of weeks ago against Kyle Loesch of the Cardinals. And he was one of the oddest players of all in that he was once a leadoff catcher with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, high on base percentage. He is really scuffling right now, though. Just 5 for his last 41.
And he should be 5 for 42. And Yanel throws out. And Gallardo will be the hitter. And you mentioned in our opening comments, this guy can hit. Be careful with Gallardo.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. He has 4 hits so far this year. 2 of them are homers. He was the first pitcher to hit a home run off Randy Johnson.
And I think still's the only guy ever to do that, right?
I think he's the only guy.
And our pitch speed this inning is brought to you by Bear Advanced. Bear Advanced, better science, better results. tip of the cap to Randy Johnson. Picked up number 300 last night for San Francisco in Washington. 24th man to get there. 6th left-handed pitcher to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations to the big unit.
I know we've talked about this in days gone by, but you saw Randy in his young days as a Seattle Mayor. Did you ever think you'd talk about Randy Johnson amongst names like Tom Glavine?
No. I had a feeling just because of his size and how hard he threw that he could be a dominant guy and strike out a lot of people, but he also walked so many that it was almost a 1-to-1 ratio, and you just didn't know if the number of walks would keep him from being successful. But he got that under control and outstanding.
And here it is last night in Washington. It was a very tight game. It was 2-1 when he left. And Adam Dunn struck out with the bases loaded on a very close call, which would have tied the game had it not gone Randy's way. But clearly the Giants wanted to get 300 in the books for him. And that's about as close to a smile as you're going to see from Randy Johnson.
Yeah, it was. And had his son there as a bat boy, too. That had to be special for him.
So Randy Johnson in the 300 club. And I would assume it's going to be a while until we see another member join the other 24 on that prestigious list.
Yeah, the next highest is Jamie Moyer. He's at 250. Then you drop down to Andy Pettit, who has 220. John Smoltz at 210. I guess if Moyer pitches till he's about 65, he'll probably be in there.
Well, he's got another year on his contract with the Phillies.
I thought you were going to say, well, that's only a year away.
Yeah, no. I might see the Phillies a little more frequently than you do. I got to watch what I say. My money's on Roy Halladay. I think he's at 140. And he's still a young man. Liner over second. And Counsell, as he always does, comes flying out of that batter's box, and he has the first base hit for the Brewers in the game. But to put it in perspective for Halladay, I think he's 28. Is he 32? Yeah, it's CC Sabathia who's 28. Halladay's 32. If he pitches 10 years, he has to average 16 wins a year for 10 years to get to 300.
That's how impressive it is.
Yeah. But he's a guy that you pencil in for 20 every year. That would make it, I think, easier, not easy.
Yeah, when you go to those guys that are going to have to pitch another 10 or 15 years, you just scratch your head and hope they stay healthy, because it's such a treacherous road for them. But among those guys that are already 200 and beyond, I don't see any of those guys doing it.
No. Yeah, from 200 on, I agree with you there.
I don't see Smoltz, certainly, and I don't see Pettit. And I'm going to bet against Jamie Moyer.
Hot shot to Chipper, and from an E, he takes care of Craig Counsell. Good play. That's why they call it the hot corner, folks. And we head to the bottom of the third inning scoreless. Beautiful breezy night at Turner Field in Atlanta. Giovanni Gallardo and Jair Jurgens have been terrific. It's time for our AirTran Airways home run inning, where one lucky fan will have a chance to win free airfare for two if the Braves hit a homer this inning. Visit PeachtreeTV.com/Braves for the official rules and enter for your chance to win. AirTran Airways, go. There's nothing stopping you. Francoeur, Prado, and Jurgens up in the third inning tonight.
Showed you that personal note on Gallardo earlier, and that he was born in Mexico. He grew up in Texas, finished high school in Fort Worth, and was a second-round pick in 2004.
Another one of those terrific picks by Jack Zirinsek when he was in charge of the draft for Milwaukee. And baseball fans may not know that Jack is now the general manager in Seattle. And with the draft coming up, it'll be interesting to see whom the Mariners draft, whom the Nationals pick first, and we'll chart the progress of the Nationals and Seattle with their new men in place.
Is it coming up Tuesday?
The 9th?
Yeah.
Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
When you watch this guy, especially out of the windup, he just comes right over the top. And the ball, the fastball especially, just flies out of his hand.
High fastball, third strikeout, 1 away in the third inning. Martin Prado bats with the bases empty. When's Casey coming back? Anybody heard yet?
Might be another couple of days. I think they're shooting for Sunday, but it might be tomorrow.
That would be a full week after Max Scherzer drilled him in the 4th inning Sunday out in Arizona. Braves took X-rays. They were negative, but I wasn't on the team playing, but I understand he was really hobbling coming home.
He was on crutches all the way home. And watch where this ball bounces back. Bounces straight back to Scherzer. That's how dead solid perfect it was on the side of the leg. And he said it actually must have hit a nerve or something too, because his leg was numb.
So in his place, Martin Prado has manned first and has looked pretty good over there.
Martin's a good baseball player.
And that went inside the bag. Fair ball. Fielder had no chance. First Atlanta hit is a double for Prado.
Falling on hard times. His last couple of hits have been infield type hits, but able to keep that one fair. And it puts him in scoring position for the pitcher. Good footwork down there by Marvin Hudson.
Would that be a do-si-do or an Alaman left? I'm not sure.
I like the Alaman left.
All right.
Come on, JJ.
Jurgens, 1 ball. No strikes.
Come on, come on.
Every time JJ pitches, it seems like it's a struggle to score runs, with the exception of the last 2 outings, although the Braves have scored 10 times in each of the last 2 games in which he has started. He was only able to benefit in 1 of those games. That was the last time he pitched. 2 starts ago, the Braves had a huge offensive outburst after he left the game and didn't factor in the decision.
Yeah, and the runs he gave up the other day when he pitched at Arizona was after he had the big lead and he was trying to throw strikes and make Arizona put it in play.
Corey Hart had him played perfectly. Had to move an area muscle. Fly out to right. Kelly Johnson with 2 outs, a chance. With the rain out last night, Braves obviously move everybody back a day in rotation. So Javi Vasquez will face Jeff Suppan here tomorrow. Joe and Ron Gant will be with you here on Peachtree TV. Then Sunday, Tommy Hanson will at long last make his major league debut against Manny Parra. That's a 1:35 start on Sunday.
Boy, come on, get him in.
And the weather is expected to be great the entire remainder of this homestand, which concludes on Thursday the 11th with the Pittsburgh Pirates in for the 4th and final time.
Manny Parra, Giovanni Gallardo does not give up a lot of hits. He's worked, this is 68th inning. He's only given up 50 hits. And when he does give some guys hits, he gets mighty tough with runners in scoring position. Just a 169 average against him this year.
Didn't take the Brewers long to figure out that Gallardo knew how to win. He made 68 starts in the minor leagues, went 27-13, struck out 457 men in less than 400 innings as a starting pitcher.
Very impressive. What a pitch. I mean, you got a runner in scoring position and a 3-1 count. And about 93, you put one on the corner on the outside part. That's just about as close to perfect as it gets.
And now he walks Kelly Johnson, a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 walks for him tonight. And they're at first and second for Escobar, who's been the Braves' best with runners in scoring position this year.
And you saw their new pitching coach up on the step there too, and that's Bill Castro, the long time bullpen coach for the Brewers and a former Brewer pitcher himself. He took over from Mike Maddox, who was hired away by the Texas Rangers. Nolan Ryan lured him away, trying to help that Texas pitching staff.
I'd say he's helped them a lot. Texas had a great month of May. I think they led the American League in ERA last month.
Is that right?
Rangers on a very tough trip. They started in New York. Now they're in Boston tonight. And Texas, a 3.5 game lead in the AL West here on June the 5th. Fisted towards short. Counsell at the second base bag is there, and the inning is over. The Braves have stranded a pair and no winner in our Airtran Airways home run.
get out your abacus. Who was the highest paid Major League player in 1996? Wow, 13 years ago. I've got that right here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Mr. Smiley over here. He's so proud of himself.
Ryan Braun is the batter. What did Hal say? This question should build your confidence?
Yeah.
As if to say it's an easy one?
I guess.
Okay, 1996, so 13 years ago. What would you say the top payroll in Major League Baseball was that year? Just a guess. I mean, I don't know.
I don't have any idea.
If the Yankees are paying
120 million, 110 million.
So it had to be the Yankees. Somebody.
Of course it was.
Okay, so the Yankees.
Braves played the World Series in '96, and they played the Yankees.
So who was on that Yankee squad? If
Wade Boggs.
Could it have been his dad?
Cecil Fielder for the Tigers.
One ball, two strikes. Again, Randy Marsh grants time. Could it have been Andy Pettit? He was a kid back then, but. One and two to Braun. There's another dart over the outside corner.
Another U-turn with no argument. Painting the corners with some movement. Hitters are giving up on that pitch, right-handers, and it comes back and burns that corner.
JJ halfway to his career high of 10 strikeouts set last September 11th.
All right, Hal just pulled up the payrolls. You're going to love this.
Fielder splits the left center field gap. McLouth over quickly. And Prince aboard for the second time in the game, a ringing one-out double.
You're not going to love that double, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you that the Yankees did have the highest payroll, Chip, $52 million.
Who was second?
Orioles, $48 million, and the Braves were third at $47.9, almost $48 million. Then the Indians, White Sox, Reds. The Red Sox were seventh. Wow.
So about a quarter of what they are now for the Yankees. Hal, what was that stat you had? Last 10 years, the amount of money the Yankees have spent on payroll and haven't won.
Well, their payroll then was $52 million. They handed out, what did they hand out? $100 million to Sabathia and Burnett, or more than? Oh, it was more than that.
Yeah, it was more than that. It was
120 to Teixeira.
$423 million this year alone. Burnett, Teixeira, and Sabathia. And I think it's the last 10 years the Yankees have spent about $1.3, $1.4 billion in payroll, and haven't won a playoff series. Is that correct? Haven't won a World Series in that stretch. Think about that. Plus the new ballpark's about $3 billion, including the ballpark, and no championships since 2001. Good or bad?
That would be a B.
That would be a big B. All right, so Yankees at $52 million, Baltimore at $48, the Braves almost $48 million for payroll. So who is the top paid player? Cameron draws a walk, 2 on, 1 out. And Matt Gamble, the hitter, he flied to left his first time. Second walk for Jurgens. Robbie Alomar.
I liked your Cecil Fielder thought, though.
How about Robbie Alomar?
It's pretty good. Was he playing in Baltimore then?
I think he was.
Eddie Murray might have still been playing in Baltimore. Cal Ripken was still playing in Baltimore.
Yep. Hal's not shaking his head as if to say we've disappointed him again. First, Cameron's back quickly.
Detroit's payroll was $21.9 million. Snap throw here by Bryan with a left-handed hitter. Sometimes you can kind of hide behind him, but Cameron got a little help from his first base coach Ed Cedar down there and got back easily.
21.9, you say? Another gap shot, this time by Gamble. That's going to score at least one. Look at Cameron flying around third. Relay won't be made. Matt Gamble drives home a pair, and Milwaukee leads 2-0.
This guy was the Topps minor league player of the year last year. He was in Double-A at Huntsville, and he hit .325 with 20 homers and 99 RBIs. And you can see Cameron flying from second base to home plate, scored easily, 2-0.
So the Tigers with a $21 million payroll. Put that in perspective. The Yankees this year alone have 3 players that make over $20 million each. A-Rod, Jeter, and Teixeira. Carlos Beltran for the Mets makes $19.2 million. Wow. Ichiro, $18 for Seattle. Carlos Zambrano, $18,750 for the Cubs. Times they are indeed a changing in Major League Baseball.
You give up the double to Fielder, that's one thing, but the walk to Cameron cost him a run.
Now he'd like a strikeout of Hart, and then the struggling Jason Kendall would hit with 2 outs. So do we have to make our guess, Hal, before the end of the inning? Wow.
He's getting angry now.
He's grumpy over there. What else is new? 1-2 pitch.
It was a great question to stir some little conversation. Yeah. It was well thought out. So we start talking about his question, and
he shoots us down.
Now he's angry that you ask him when we should answer it.
That's why I sit as far away from him as I can. I'm afraid he's going to hit me. Swing and a miss by Corey Hart. There's your second out. 6 strikeouts for Jurgens. And that's what Jurgens was looking for.
You mean he hasn't hit you yet?
No, I'm way too fast for him. As you know, our family crest was the flying yellow chicken. Run away, run away. Here's Kendall. 5 for his last 42. I know chickens can't fly. I meant to say fleeing, but
get some chickens fly.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. Just far enough to avoid trouble.
Just a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets are in Washington tonight. Tim Redding pitching for them. Chiron Martis for the Nats. He's been their best at 5-1 this year. Martis has 5 of Washington's 14 wins this season. Marlins host Barry Zito and the Giants, weather permitting. It's raining down in Miami again tonight. And Jamie Moyer, Eric Milton hook up in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium.
How about Eric Milton? His comeback.
Yep.
Wow.
2-0. Ground ball third. It rolls off the heel of Chipper's glove. And Jason Kendall keeps the inning alive. That really hurts. Gamble moves up 90 feet. We'll see how that's scored. It's an error.
Milwaukee came into the game 8th in the league defensively with 32 errors, just below Atlanta. Braves were tied for 7th. And that's already 8 errors on Chipper this year.
And at the very least, it clears the pitcher for Milwaukee in this 4th inning with Gallardo already in front by 2. And a nice pitch from Jurgens to put a wrinkle in it with Gallardo swinging for the down. Strike one.
Don't think you can kind of trick him here after swinging a miss at 2 breaking balls. Throw him another one. You don't have to throw it for a strike.
But if it's in the dirt, Brian's got to smother it. And it's a dart. And Jurgen strikes out the side. He has struck out 7 men in the game, but a couple of doubles.
Take a look at the SunTrust Solid Performers, brought to you by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid. Tonight's subject, consecutive steals without being caught, and Nate McLouth of the Braves heads that list at 28. Cliff Floyd, yes, that Cliff Floyd, of course, that 19 consecutive steals for Cliff dates back to 2005.
Yeah.
It's not a real rampage he's on right now. But Nate McLouth will lead off the inning, and he does have 28 in a row, and he has stolen 64 out of 69 in his career in the National League. He
has yet to be thrown out by a catcher, correct?
Once.
One time.
We did some research on that yesterday. John Shambi,
Boy. Come on, Nate.
broadcaster to the Stars. I think it was Matt Trainer that got him last year. The other 4 were pickoffs.
Come on, kid.
McLouth tapped to the pitcher his first time up. This is his second Braves at bat. Gallardo just one hit allowed, and McLouth bounces one off his toe. Ouch.
Yeah, right off maybe the instep.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Player gets traded to a new team. McLouth, in this case, comes to Atlanta. All of his equipment and all of his gear comes in those Pittsburgh Pirate bags. What happens to the Pirate bags when he gets here?
He takes them home.
He does?
Yeah.
The team doesn't send it back to Pittsburgh or anything.
No. I know of some Dodger, Mariner, and Royal bags that are tucked away some strange places.
Yes. Okay. 1-2 count. Popped up. Prince Fielder is there. Yeah, Council's going to get out of the way in a hurry, isn't he? 1 out. Here's Chipper. He walked his first time up. Braves have just one hit against Gallardo to this point. And a ball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, I hope our colleague Ernie Johnson's watching the game tonight. One of the great Milwaukee Braves in history. And this is a special anniversary for Ernie that I wasn't aware of.
Is it really?
Yep. Al Galima found this earlier today. And I know Ernie probably remembers this day like yesterday. 52 years ago today, he hit his only career home run off Steve Ridzik.
Really?
Yep. Line to second. Chipper's retired for the second out. Ernie hit his ball a lot harder than that.
I'll bet it was a 400-foot-plus drive. Well, speaking of drive, here's the Toyota Tacoma trivia question. Who was the highest paid Major League player in 1996? I'm going with your guy Fielder. I think that's a good call.
I'll go Robbie Alomar. Oh! I'll go with Cecil Fielder.
9.2. That's a pretty good change. Led the league in homers for a couple of years. He had 51 year for Detroit. I know he hit a ball out of County Stadium one night when the Tigers were playing at Old Milwaukee County Stadium. Hit it over the left field bleachers, which was
Come on, Max.
stunning. Got some late movement on that fastball. That was not it, but that fastball is really keeping everybody honest.
And to put that salary thing in perspective, I've got the USA Today baseball salaries list they put out at the start of every year. I've got 85 guys this year alone making $9 million or more in Major League Baseball. McCann walks, close pitch. Kendall wanted it, didn't get it, and the tying run potentially comes to the plate in the form of Garrett Anderson.
Last two pitches were close. One to the inside part of the plate, and this one to the outside. Kendall set up out there, but he had to trail that glove off the plate a little bit. Randy Marsh right there had a good look at it. Cecil's son Prince there in your picture is in the first year of a 2-year $18 million deal.
That's a little high. 1 ball, no strikes. There were some who thought that Brewers should have traded Fielder this offseason to acquire pitching, especially over in the American League. But Doug Melvin knows his club very well, along with Gord Ash, and now Ken Maka too.
They've got a good bullpen with the addition of Trevor Hoffman. That just took care of a gaping hole on their pitching staff.
Yanked foul. Their closer was Cordero. He's now a Cincinnati Red. But after some late back and forth, the very small amount of money by today's standards. The Brewers let him go to Cincinnati. I think the difference was $1 million over the 4-year contract. That caused him some issues last season. That's a little high. Ball 3. 3-1 with Francoeur next.
They're one of only 3 teams to have used only 5 starting pitchers so far this year. That's catching a break with some good health too.
The other 2, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the San Francisco Giants. And now back-to-back walks. Brings up Jeff Francoeur, who struck out his first time, and if Jeff can run into one, Atlanta could take the lead, and Castro out for a chat. Salomon Torres, by the way, closed games for the Brewers last season at 28 saves and then retired. And he's a guy that's pitched forever.
4 walks is the season high for Gallardo. He's done it 3 times, including 2 starts ago when he threw a 2-hit shutout for 8 innings against the Cardinals and got no decision in a game that was scoreless when he came out. Brewers went on to win that one 1-0 in 10 innings. And he's walked 4 already tonight, and we're only in the 4th inning.
Jeff chased a high, tight fastball his first time up. And in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves have just 1 hit. When a pitcher has a no-hitter, oftentimes you hear that guy scream and yell and distract the pitcher and try to break his concentration. It's not so frequent when he has a 1-hitter going.
No, in fact, it's very rare.
Fly ball, right center field, but it's tailing toward Hart. And Corey's got it. No sunglasses at night for him. 2 on. 4. Coming up for the Brewers. Boy, we've seen this movie before with this Braves offense here in 2009. Just 1 Atlanta hit through the first 4 innings of play. And if you think about a late comeback against Milwaukee, it's a very difficult proposition with Trevor Hoffman and the rest of the strike throwers in that Brewer bullpen.
Yeah, they're missing one guy, though. They're missing DeFelice, Mark DeFelice, who is away for a bereavement leave. His grandmother passed away.
A squibber by Counsell. Chipper with a bare hand. Off balance. Got him. Good play. 1 out.
He makes this play as well as anybody in the game. The hard part, I would guess, having never played third base, but would be to grab the ball to make sure you have a good grip on it with all your fingers wrapped around it, and then go to just the 2-finger grip to throw it. But he makes that play beautifully.
Easy peasy for Chipper Jones. Here's J.J. Hardy, and he spanks one at right field. 1 on, 1 out. Braves baseball on Peachtree TV and HD is brought to you by the Georgia Aquarium. There's always something new at the world's largest aquarium. Visit georgiaaquarium.org. First hit for Hardy. Here's Braun. He has struck out twice. That's what scares you. He can make an adjustment in a big hurry. Or not. Strike one.
He's made a nice transition to left field, too, after coming up as a third baseman. Played left field all of last year and has only made one error out there last year and into this season. And it was a throwing error in Minnesota early here in 2009.
And how about Braun making the commitment as a California kid to remain in Milwaukee, and the Brewers making the commitment to keep him in their organization. They have already locked him up through the 2015 season.
No kidding.
Yeah. Was a star at the University of Miami. His younger brother Steve is an infielder in the Brewers farm system. Braun just 25 years of age, and with his power and Miller Park, this kid's going to put up gigantic offensive numbers. Won the Rookie of the Year in one of the closest races in recent memory by just 2 points over Troy Tulowitzki back in 2007. And only Joe DiMaggio, Ralph Kiner, Eddie Matthews, and Albert Pujols hit more home runs after 2 seasons in baseball history.
Wow. Well, he certainly was deserving of the Rookie of the Year. I think had I a vote that year, I would have voted for Tulowitzki for no other reason than Tulowitzki played a more demanding position at shortstop that year and played it great. How about those numbers against the better pitchers?
Check swing, appeal to first, didn't go that time.
This guy with a big swing. Check out the check swing first. Pulled his hands in. That helped him get it stopped in time. But a guy with a big swing who strikes out quite a bit, and against the top 10 strikeout pitchers in the National League, he hit .438.
And you mentioned, as Braun hits one deep short, and a diving play, Escobar throws it into right field. Bad decision after a great play. Hardy to third, will be held there. I'm sure that'll be an infield hit and then an error on the Braves shortstop.
Yeah, he tried to make something out of nothing. Great stop, but he wasn't going to get anyone. And with his back to Kelly and from one knee, a very wild throw.
That is the call. Infield hit, E6. So runners second and third now. The Braves will pitch around Prince Fielder and load the bases for Mike Cameron. One more note on Braun and Tulowitzki. Don't forget that 2007 season he wasn't playing left field. 112 games, he did play them all at third base.
Right. No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So are you saying shortstop is that much more demanding than third?
Yes. Yes, I'm saying he played a more demanding position that year than even the third baseman, Ryan Braun.
But boy, what a race that was. Tulowitzki, part of that Colorado club that had the greatest defensive year in history. And nearly rode that defense to a World's Championship for running into the Red Sox.
I think catching is the most difficult position on the field because of the beating you take and the things that you have to be mindful of, not just fielding your position but calling a game and all those things. But next to that, among the players who are actually between the white line, shortstop is the toughest.
So a mess for Jurgens in the 5th. 2 hits in error, now an intentional walk brings up Cameron, who has struck out, walked, and scored tonight. Already 2-0 Milwaukee. Braves had trouble with these guys last year. They lost 6 of 9 games played.
And 4 of 6 played here.
There's the double play ball, but it's dropped. The Braves get 1 at second. Boy, Escobar having a rough 5th inning. Should have been an inning-ending double play. It wasn't. Hardy scores to make it 3-0. Fielder forced at second. Runners at the corners, 2 out.
I mean, this routine ground ball, or what should have been a routine ground ball, is almost always. Look at Jurgens. He's already walking off the field. Check him out, and then looks back to see what happened. That ball did take a funny hop on Escobar, so they only get 1.
No error, can't assume the double play. It's an RBI for Cameron. Hardy scores. Inning should be over and isn't. Now Gamble bats, and he drove 1 to the left center field fence his last time up. That plated the first 2 runs of the night. And for whatever reason, the Braves just cannot gain any traction here at Turner Field. After a nice win down in Arizona to wrap up the road trip, they came home, lost in 12 innings to the Cubs. They had won in 11 innings. 3-2. Rained out yesterday, and now here we are again, down 3-0 to this Milwaukee club.
Braves only have 2 hits total on the homestand so far through the first 4 innings of 3 games.
And that's such a tough way to play.
And that was one of the things that helped Jurgens in Arizona with a ton of early runs.
Fly ball left center field. McLouth on the run, can't get there. Big swing and a blue pit. 3 RBI night for Gamble. Braun scores 4-0. Cameron all the way around to third.
McLouth broke back on that big cut. Chip, you're right. I'm not sure he would have caught it anyway. He's going to have to get used to playing at Turner Field, a place that the Pirates only come once a year.
And I had the scores messed up, didn't I? Braves won 6-5-12, lost 3-2-11. But the point being, win, lose here at home. We keep talking about the ball club and the players wanting to establish some momentum in their home ballpark. They've had a couple of homestands so far this year, Joe, where that just hasn't happened. And
I don't know if there's any one thing you can put your finger on either, Chip, other than lack of offense that has plagued the team.
And what really hurts you is the Phillies are on the road and gaining ground in the division. Phillies have won 7 in a row. The Braves playing at home have lost 6 of their last 10 overall and are 6 games off the pace.
Yeah, they've really dropped back because of that winning streak for Philadelphia. And it's not just against anybody that the Phillies are doing that. They've done that against the Padres and now the Dodgers. And they put a little distance between themselves and the Mets and Braves.
2 balls and a strike. Mets have to be real concerned too. They've been really banged up by injuries. Now Reyes has a slight hamstring tear. He may not play till after this weekend for New York. And you don't want to let that Philly offense get too far ahead in the division. 3-1 pitch is into the seats, foul. Full count now to Corey Hart, 3-2. Gamble will get a head start from first. Strike 3 over the outside corner. Jurgens has struck out 8 men in this game. He has, however, given up 4 runs. Not a good night when you have more errors than hits. That's the case for Atlanta so far tonight.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, the Bravos have dug themselves a 4-run hole, and they'll try to dig themselves out of it now in the 5th inning with Prado, Jurgens, and Kelly Johnson due up. An ill-advised throw from Yunel Escobar helped lead to the big inning, as well as what looked to be a rather routine double play ground ball that would have gotten Atlanta out of that frame. Didn't happen. And now you move on with Prado, who has the lone Atlanta hit tonight, a double with 1 out in the 3rd.
The unfortunate thing for Jurgens is that since you can't assume the double play, both of the runs are earned.
Prado at .253, a couple of homers and 7 runs batted in. Mile high pop up. Prado hustling as Counsell points the way and takes care of it himself.
The wind's pretty stiff blowing in tonight. It's blowing in from left field, left center toward the first base line. So the infielders are having a little trouble trying to figure out which way that ball's going.
Jurgens line to right his first time up. Corey Hart had him played perfectly. And that's in for a called strike. Few moments past the 9 o'clock hour here in Atlanta. Think we can bottle up some of this weather for August?
Let's hope so.
Wouldn't that be nice? And JJ down swinging. That's 4 of those for Gallardo.
The way it's gone, I just want to bottle some of it up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll take that for tomorrow.
Yeah. Look at that beautiful, beautiful sunset. Well, what a difference it is when you throw strike one. I mean, this guy Gallardo has put on a clinic in that regard tonight, it seems. Inside, outside. Get ahead, finish him off.
Down there, Cap, come on.
Well, it lets you, when you've got his kind of stuff, it lets you use other pitches, try to keep the hitters off balance with off-speed stuff. They might expand the strike zone a little bit for you.
And when you're around the plate and ahead with strike one, you might get a little more generous strike zone for strike 2 or 3. And that pitch may have barely grazed the black on the outer half to Kelly. And a liner into center right at Mike Cameron, who has to make a leaping grab. That ball found another gear. But the Braves are out in order in the 5th inning, still stuck on.
You want to head to Turner Field for Ultimate Kids Day this Sunday, June 7th at 1:30. All upper level tickets are only $5 at braves.com/summer. Kids 14 and under can participate in a pregame parade around the field, visit the Braves Museum, and play interactive games for free. Plus, they get to run the bases after the game. Quite a deal. Ultimate Kids Day, Sunday, 1:30.
Now, those interactive games, the ones that are down in Scouts Alley, the junior batter pro and the pitch speed.
That.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that that's what that is.
Have you gone in and done the pitch speed?
No.
Recently?
No. How'd you do against JJ?
Well, I didn't see Jay. I beat Lemke, though.
Did you?
Yeah, crushed him.
How do you feel about it?
Bitter. You know, it's as Kendall's the batter. And a line drive into right field. That's in for a clean hit. Jason Kendall already over 2,000 hits in his career. Singles to start the 6th. And now we'll see if Gallardo can bunt. Already up by a 4-0 score. It's never a good idea when you go to that pitch speed machine. When you wind up and you throw the ball, and you hear like a Rice Krispie sound and you can't feel your fingers for a couple seconds. That's not a good thing.
That is not good.
No. But the kids sure love it. I saw one guy out there today throwing about 71. He had a good arm.
Yep, that's a real slow gun too.
No, there's no doubt about it.
So when you were throwing 60?
No, please, 55.
Yeah, that's on the regular gun. That's about
56.
That's about 90.
Yeah, we have a very strict policy in this particular chair. You cannot throw any faster than Glenn Diamond drives.
Well, that's 53, 54.
I was right there, right? Mm-hmm. There's the bunt. Jurgens has a play at second, and he makes a beauty. And a nice return for the double play. Escobar with a long look at Kendall, who came in hard at second. And the sacrifice attempt didn't work.
Jurgens' quickness helped here. Not sure, but Escobar may have gotten spiked a little too, trying to get out of the way. Glenn's the only guy I know that when he stops at a stoplight in the summertime, he turns the AC off.
So 1-6-4 double play has him clear for Craig Counsell. This guy's a winning ball player, isn't he?
I'll say. Everywhere he's been.
Another guy that, at least for me, in the middle infield would be a David Eckstein. Scrappy in the middle of stuff, plays the game the right way. And this year for Counsell with that new batting stance, hitting over 300. I asked him before the game, why'd you change? He said, I hit 220. It wasn't too hard to decide something wasn't working.
Well, you got to start making some adjustments too. The older you get, if your bat slows down a little bit, you can't get it to the ball from the position he had it before, and he flares another one. He was on a world championship team in Florida in '97, a world championship team with Arizona in 2001, was in the playoffs last year with Milwaukee.
And another two-hit game for him tonight as he's aboard in front of J.J. Hardy. Brewers have had now 3 shortstops that have hit 20 homers and stolen 20 or more bases in 2 or more years. Robert Young, right? Jose Hernandez.
Oh, no kidding.
Former Cub, former Brave, also in that very powerful group. Hardy this year with 5 home runs. He's on target perhaps with a midseason push to get to 20 or more again. Counsell was breaking, and Hardy took a ball low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Pretty good stop by Brian McCann, who was coming up out of his crouch to try to throw the runner out, and the ball was in the dirt.
Don't want to put Hardy on. Braun waits next.
No, can't afford to put more guys on with this part of the order, and already trailing by 4.
Ground ball deep short. Escobar's got it. Long throw. Beautiful play. Look at where he ended up. About 15 feet in foul ground. His momentum carried him that far away. Terrific play. Great arm. And the throw right on the money.
Braves down by 4. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at the Braves' upcoming schedule. Brought to you by AirTran Airways. Go. There's nothing stopping you. On Peachtree TV tomorrow night. Airtime 6:30. First pitch 7:10. Sunday, the debut of Tommy Hanson. 1:35 first pitch. And I should correct myself. No pregame show on Peachtree TV. We're on the air at 7.
I do the same thing.
Ron Gantt, I'll have that for you. But Fox Sports South on Sunday for the debut of Tommy Hanson.
Is there a pregame show for that one?
There is.
Okay.
That'll come on at 1 o'clock. Braves live at 1 o'clock.
Short hopped by Counsell, kept it in front. Escobar, one pitch. Make that 2 pitches and 1 out. 5 in a row retired by Gallardo. He can let the Braves hit it. And his defense catch it. He's got a 4-0 lead. Third at bat for McLouth. He's tapped to the pitcher. He's popped out. He's hopeful of getting the ball past the infield here in the 6th inning. Braves need a spark. Need something to happen. They have only 1 hit.
There's that big swing and powerful swing from McLouth with the bottom hand. Top hand kind of comes off early, but he gets it out there quickly.
Another broken bat. McLouth down the line quickly, but Counsell another flawless chance. Chipper hits with 2 outs and the base is empty.
Only 1 inning when the Braves have had 2 runners on, and that was thanks to back-to-back walks in the 4th after 2 out.
There have been only 3 outs handled by the Brewers outfielder. Cameron twists, turns both ways, and makes the catch. That's the 4th chance handled by the Milwaukee outfield.
different beverages from around the world. Make plans to visit the world of Coca-Cola today.
For nothing, your score. Braun, Fielder, and Cameron coming up against Jurgens. And that's a good start. One pitch, one out. 4-0 Milwaukee. Unless the Braves get this thing a little closer, we may not see Trevor Hoffman tonight.
You know, one of the things that he's done for them is if they do get a lead and it's close, he's finished it up for them, perfect in safe situations. But in games decided by 1 run or 2, they are 16-10. That's a pretty good mark.
Hoffman named the National League Pitcher of the Month with those 11 straight saves in the month of May.
I was looking at some of the minor league numbers for the Braves today. They've got a kid at Rome named Craig Kimbrell. I'll lay some numbers on you. He's their closer. He has 7 saves. He's worked 12 2/3 innings, and he struck out 26 batters. Now that's 38 batters, and he struck out 26 of them. That's not too bad.
No, I'd say that's pitching away from contact.
35 innings in the minor leagues coming into this year, 56 strikeouts, and he's got no record and a 1.42 ERA. About 5 hits this year in 12 2/3.
And a 3rd-round pick last year. How's Brett Butts doing?
Outstanding.
3 balls and a strike. And Fielder scorches that up the middle. He's got 2 hits tonight.
And he's swinging the bat good, isn't he?
Yep.
Brett Butts is at Mississippi, Double-A, 3-0 with a 2.48 ERA. They've plugged him in as the closer lately. He picked up a save in his first opportunity and getting about a strikeout per inning pitched. And he's the nephew of the Braves bullpen catcher Alan Butts.
Here's Cameron. He's walked, struck out, bounced into a fielder's choice for an RBI, and now has hit into a double play. So the fielder's single does no damage. It's time to stretch in Atlanta. Braves bats need to awaken. It's 4-0 Milwaukee.
Monday at 9 on Peachtree TV.
Chip and Joe back with you at Turner Field. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Get your rally caps on, folks. Let's make it happen now. 4-0. Atlanta with 1 hit so far. 7 straight Braves batters have been retired by Giovanni Gallardo, and Brian McCann hopeful of getting something going here tonight. That young man has been dominant. And the first pitch swing, fly ball right center field. Cameron on the run, can't get there. Ground rule double. There's the start.
That is a good start. Hitting .355 over his last 10 ball games. 0 for 1 with a walk tonight, and promptly puts the Braves in a good position to get on the board.
Garrett Anderson, the batter, with McCann at second and nobody out. It's time to take a look at our Georgia Lottery scorecard, brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Remember, the Braves came back from a 5-0 deficit to beat the Cubs. The last time they'd done that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This ought to be easy. It's only a 4-run hole tonight, right?
Exactly. And that comeback started late. I think that was in the 7th inning. I have to double check. Yeah, they got 3 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th to tie it. On Frank Coor's 2-run homer in the 9th.
Fouled away. 0-2 your count.
Braves have been shut out 5 times this year. The Brewers only once, and no surprise, Milwaukee shutout came at the hands of Johan Santana, 1-0. There's a rally cap.
I love it. Anderson strikes out for out number 1 in the 7th. That is 5 for Gallardo.
Breaking ball. And it broke a lot. Looked like the follow through of Garrett's bat plumped Kendall too, right here. Actually, Jason ran into it. Good thing he had that hard hat on.
Now, when you were a kid, did you do your rally cap like that gentleman had his, or did you turn the cap inside out? Or
I don't remember having rally caps.
You probably didn't. You were such a good player, you never run a team that lost any games.
No, it wasn't that. I just don't remember doing that. If they did, it was probably one of those things where they just flipped the bill up straight up. Not like that. I mean, you wear your cap right and then flip the bill up.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like the old auto mechanic or something.
That guy's, why are they shooting me with this hat like this? It's Fred Coor bats.
Why?
A lot of times you'll see the fans take their cap and totally turn it inside out and then put it back on their head. Sort of a reversal of fortune type deal.
Braves just 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position in the last 3 games.
Well, they are facing a tough hombre. That young lady had her rally visor on. Jeff's got a rally behind him. The count here, 1-2. Strike 3 at the knees.
No argument. Looked like maybe he got caught guessing. Right over the top. And good call by Randy Marsh. Good pitch.
Greg Norton grabs the bat. He's in the on deck circle. He'll hit if Prado can keep this 7th inning alive. Now see, that's the way you wear a rally cap. Flip the hat inside out, put it on, flip the bill up, do the chop.
I hope it works.
Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Here's where, at least to this point, Gallardo has not been afraid to throw his breaking ball behind in the count. But this late in the ball game, with a 4-0 lead, he may be willing just to lay it in there and say, here, hit it if you can. Don't want to put anybody on base.
You made the point earlier, he does have a slider. He hasn't thrown it very much, and pitchers love it when they don't have to show all of their pitches until their last 2 or 3 innings of play.
Yeah, it seems like mostly fastball, curveball, and an occasional changeup. But if you've never heard of Giovanni Gallardo before tonight, you'll remember him tonight.
Oh, ouch.
Ow.
But he came up with a souvenir.
Yes, he did.
On the bounce, a fan was reaching up for the souvenir, and that guy tumbled backwards over 2 rows of seats, spilled his beer, but came away with an $8 baseball.
And he'll need back surgery tomorrow.
Yes.
Other than that.
And a new shirt.
See what he comes up here with. A 2-2 count to Martin, trying to put him away. Doesn't want to go 3-2. Nice piece of hitting by Martin to fight off the curveball. It was a good one. Jason Kendall's always gotten high marks for his leadership behind the plate and working with pitchers.
And remember, early in his career, he didn't have much to work with. He was played for those Pirate teams that struggled so mightily and continued to do so. Jason's still a young guy. Just turned 35, or will turn 35, I should say. Wonder if he can get to 3,000 hits. Just missed the inside corner.
Awfully hard nearing the end of your career as a catcher to stay healthy enough to catch as much as he has up to this point in his career, because he's been a guy who likes being back there.
Popped up in the center of the diamond. Matt Gamble, Prince fielder. Gamble comes over, makes the catch. And the Braves waste a leadoff double from Brian McCann. Gallardo pitching brilliantly through 7.
And time for tonight's Home Depot know-how question. It comes from Harold Stewart in Kennesaw, who wants to know, who are the Braves minor league affiliates? That's a pretty easy one, Harold. We can start with the AAA team, which is just up the road in Gwinnett. In AA, they're in Jackson, Mississippi. That's the AA team. High Class A is Myrtle Beach, the Pelicans. The Rome Braves play just up the road, up I-75. And in Danville, Virginia, that season is a half-season rookie league team. That'll get started after the draft next week. The Gulf Coast League Braves play at the Braves Spring Training Complex. That's a rookie league team down in Lake Buena Vista. And they also have the Braves Academy in the Dominican Republic. So they've got a team there as well.
Matt Gamble leads off the 8th inning against left-hander Eric O'Flaherty, who takes over for Jair Jurgens. 7 innings, 4 runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 9 hits for JJ. But no runs and 2 hits of support for him. A sad refrain he has seen all too often so far in 2009. That one on the way by may have ticked the bat. And Gamble backs out of the way just in the nick of time.
I think that got right off the knob of the bat. No? Got glove.
Yeah, I heard the same thing you did. I thought that hit the bat.
I heard a tick. Must have been the glove.
A little high. 2 balls and a strike. So often in Major League Baseball, it's not how you pitch, but when. And this year, Jurgens has been the unlucky fellow with run support. Popped up over our heads and into the upper deck. Kenshin Kawakami, 1.4 runs of support in his 10 starts. Jojo Reyes, 1.8 in his 5 starts. Medlin, 3 runs a game. Now Jurgens, 3 runs a game. That youngster could care less about run support.
It's a good chow here at the ballpark, too.
2-2. Mile high pop up, twisting and turning is Kelly Johnson. He's got it tracked. That is not an easy play, folks, with the wind gusting as it is. Look at Old Glory high atop the scoreboard. It's starched.
It's been swirling all night. Guys have been chasing pop flies out around second base from one side of the base to the other. Eric O'Flaherty, by the way, has not allowed an extra base hit this season. We've talked about what a good job he's done.
He's a guy that anybody in baseball could have had. The Braves got him. He's finally healthy. Oh, 2.
Yeah, a bad back waylaid him most of last year in the Mariners organization.
Had a 7-1 season in 56 games with the Mariners in 2007. Pitched just 7 times in the big leagues last year with those problems. And into center, McLouth is there. Hart flies out. He is 0 for 4 tonight. And now Jason Kendall is the hitter. Ken Maka tonight going for a milestone for Milwaukee. He's looking for his 400th win as a manager tonight. Managed the Oakland A's to the Western Division Championship in 2003 and 2006. Jason Kendall was part of that 06 Oakland club. 1 ball, no strikes.
His new third base coach, Brad Fisher, is also a guy that came out of the Oakland organization. Somebody who's familiar with.
McLouth made a sliding attempt, kept it in front, and Kendall has a 2 for 4 night. Remember, he came in 5 for 41 at the plate.
McLeod had him played correctly over there in right center field. Just couldn't get there on the sinking liner. Good play to keep it in front of him.
Broken bat chopper to short. And that will retire the side. Still no extra base hits allowed by Eric O'Flaherty. The Braves will settle for any kind of hit, any kind of way they can get it. It's 4-0.
And that's right here on Peachtree TV. You know what? We always bring it to you in beautiful, crystal clear, high definition. And tomorrow night, join us and we can show you a little bit of what that Nate McLeod, that recently acquired All-Star, is going to do for our team. So join us, 7 p.m. right here. The Braves play here on Peachtree TV.
Billy Hall into the game defensively for Milwaukee. Hillman third base for Matt Gamble. And Eric O'Flaherty with a one-inning stint will be taken down for pinch hitter Greg Norton here in the Atlanta 8th. Norton, Johnson, Escobar, and hopefully a cast of thousands to follow in a 4-0 Milwaukee game. Gallardo has been brilliant tonight. He has stranded 5 Atlanta base runners in the game. The 2 hits the Braves have are both doubles.
I was talking to Greg Norton before the ballgame. He's been battling a bad flu bug that was mostly an upper respiratory thing. He said, I couldn't even jog 2 feet without coughing my head off. It's also bothered guys in the bullpen, Moylan and Bennett. Hopefully it's not something that'll run through the team.
Yeah, the Mets have had that. Yeah, and there was some concern about the, was it H1N1 or swine flu, whatever they call it now. But that was an issue in New York. This game's tough enough without having to deal with that kind of thing. Running through, as you said, the clubhouse. 2 balls, 1 strike. And now 3-1.
This would have been a very manageable game. Probably 2-0 had the Braves been able to make a play or 2 in the 5th inning. Not even counting the throwing error. They had the bases loaded and 1 out when Cameron hit that ball to short that might have gotten Jurgens out of the inning. Double play would have gotten him out of the inning. Would have been 2-0.
Swing and a drive down the right field line. It's got plenty of distance. Foul ball.
Marvin Hudson with the call. And you're right, Chip. It had plenty of distance. But right of the pole.
Nice hustle by the first base umpire Marvin Hudson to get down the line. And he got it right. No argument from Norton, who put a charge into a ball. Now it's a full count. And this one hit a long way the other way. Braun is there, however, and makes the play for out number 1.
Good at bat for Norton. Couldn't come up with an opening anywhere for a hit. It's not just Trevor Hoffman who's made a difference in this ball club, though, Chip, as we were talking about. DeFelice has done a good job in a setup role, and they've got some other guys, too. Last year, when leading or tied after 7, they couldn't finish games. 21 losses. This year, just 3 times where they've not been able to hold the lead after 7.
Kelly Johnson loops one to short, and J.J. Hardy makes the leaping grab. So yes, in the modern version of baseball, you start the game from the 9th inning and move forward. If you know you've got the 9th inning covered, then you can see how your starting pitcher does, and if he goes 6 or 7, then you mix and match with your entire bullpen those final 1 or 2 innings to get to your 9th inning man. And Ken Maka's got a good one, quite obviously, in Trevor Hoffman. Gallardo with 108 pitches now, as Escobar quickly down 0-1.
His pitch high for the year was 2 starts ago in that 8 innings of work against the Cardinals. 126 pitches. He has a complete game this year. It was a win at Houston, and twice he's gone 8. 1 out away from the 3rd time to go 8 innings.
And I would think tonight, weather-wise, this has to be a refreshing game.
Perfect, yeah.
For a guy like Gallardo and Jurgens, too. Pen is busy for Milwaukee. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a chopper hit up the middle. J.J. Hardy to his left. Inning over. 3 up, 3 down. If that is it for Gallardo, boy, did he finish a strong game. He has struck out 6. He is allowed.
Ninth inning, Brewers still up 4-0. Let's take a look at the AM/PM play of the game. AM/PM, too much good stuff. That was the case in the 4th inning. After 1 out, a double by Fielder, a walk to Cameron, and then Matt Gamble, playing in his first ever game at Turner Field, doubles into left center and drove in 2 runs. He's driven in 3 on the night. We'll see if that will be enough with only 3 outs to get for the Brewers for a W. Manny Acosta on to work the 9th for Atlanta.
And the top of the Brewers order is due Counsell Hardy and Ryan Braun. Manny Acosta, 6 appearances now, and always like to see no walks.
That's a big improvement for him. That's something that everybody talked about. Something he had to work on to get back to the big leagues and stay there for a long time, was a little better control.
So Council looking for a 3-hit game. Takes a quick strike. Braves this year are 3-21 when they score 3 runs or less. 24 times this season they have struggled offensively. Braves come in averaging about 4.5 runs a game. They have nothing working tonight. That's how good Gallardo was.
But you know that 4.5 is a little bit skewed by some really big games too, Chip.
Yeah, let's see how many times.
I mean, that average is pretty good.
Yeah, 4.5. Sure.
Yeah, you'd take that.
What would you say an inordinate number of runs would be? As that ball hit to center, and McLouth on the run makes play. 6. Anything bigger than 6?
I'd even go 8. And
all right, 8. I'll run through the book here. They scored 11 once and lost. 1 8-5. 1 10-2. 1 8-6. Lost 10-6, 1 8-3, 1 8-7, 1 12-4, 1 10-2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those games this season would be, I guess, what we would call big scoring games.
Big night. And every team's going to have those, but it just seems like the Braves, and was the case after the game in Arizona where they scored 10 runs against the Diamondbacks and then came home and had to rally that first game to beat the Cubs.
Well, we made the point statistically earlier in the game as McLouth and Francoeur converge. Jeff calls him off. Hal, what was that stat? The number of runs or hits the Braves had in the first 4 innings in the last 3 games?
Had 2 hits.
2 hits. 2 hits.
In the first 4 innings of the first 3 games.
So 2 hits in 12 innings.
Yes. And early runs mean so much. If you can get on the board early, and it seems to breed some confidence for the hitters where they're a little looser. Put the other team under the gun, put the other pitcher under the gun where he's got to make some better pitches. Makes him a little more careful.
But that hasn't happened tonight. Just 2 Atlanta hits. Milwaukee scored 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. And yes, you have to tip your cap to Gallardo. He's in line to win for the 6th time. He is the real deal.
He's good.
Phillies play in Los Angeles. They start in about 15 minutes out west. Mets and Nationals are tied 1-1 in the 8th inning. Giants are beating the Florida Marlins 2-0 in the 6th. Those are the games of interest within our division tonight. And a bullet hit by Braun into the left field corner. It's pulled well foul, however. Angels beat the Tigers 2-1. That was a Justin Verlander, Irvin Santana game tonight. Verlander had a 6-game winning streak coming into that one for the Tigers. I like that old logo, by the way, the Brewers with the baseball glove.
Very unique.
And Braun is down swinging. He has struck out 3 times in tonight's ball game.
and we are hoping you are enjoying tonight's game. Now, folks, tomorrow starts the Atlanta Braves Foundation baseball and softball equipment drive. All we're asking you to do on Saturday and Sunday's game, we want you to bring in your new or gently used equipment to benefit the Junior Braves RBI Youth Program. Now, if you donate, you'll also receive an autographed Braves item, of course, while supplies last. Hey, come on into the game, donate your items, and help our youth enjoy our national pastime. Oh, yeah! That's a bunt, baby.
Yeah, it was. Well done, JJ. I like that.
I thought the art of the bunt was lost.
Me too.
JJ's got it down. Let's see if the Braves can get a couple of guys on against Carlos Villanueva, who should be well rested. He last pitched on Monday. Now look at that.
Good form. Has the right hand up there near the brand to control the bat.
Nate McLouth will start it off against the hard-throwing Carlos Villanueva.
How about the numbers for this guy? Another tremendous setup guy this year for them.
Ground ball to first. First out in the ninth inning.
Villanueva is not allowed a hit over his last 7 innings. He hasn't allowed a run over his last 13 appearances and has 14 strikeouts in his last 8 innings pitched. That's coming in and getting it done.
It's all set up nicely for Maka. Again, he's looking for his 400th career win. And 1 year ago today, number 400 came for Chipper Jones, his 400th career home run. On this date in 2008, he's hit 5 of them this year. And he had a home run cut and is down a strike. Chipper has walked, lined out, and flied out.
He's hit 13 home runs since that day in 372 at bats. This Milwaukee bullpen, we talked about Trevor Hoffman. He's not the only guy getting it done. In the major leagues, they have the 3rd best ERA as a group.
And I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm frankly shocked that Milwaukee has been this good this year, considering CeCe's gone, Ben Sheets is gone, and no one knew how good Trevor Hoffman could be outside of San Diego, where he had spent the bulk of his big league career.
Well, I'm with you. I didn't expect this from Milwaukee this year either.
Chipper went around, and he's down on strikes.
And the reason I didn't expect him to be this good is because I didn't think that Dave Bush, Braden Looper, Manny Parra, and Jeff Suppan would be enough from a starting rotation standpoint to put them 8 games over 500 like they are, and an out away from being 9 over. So it's not just Giovanni Gallardo. Those other guys are chipping in too, and there's some veteran work in there from Suppan and Bush and Looper.
McCann, the batter, final hope for the Braves, and they have something the Braves don't have. They've got difference makers at the plate who can hit the ball out of the ballpark and erase deficits in a hurry. Milwaukee with 62 home runs, the Braves with 38 coming in. That's 24 more home runs for this Milwaukee club.
Braves finished May in pretty good fashion offensively. For the month, the Braves hit 18 homers. Milwaukee hit 30.
Big difference. And Trevor Hoffman is playing catch in the bullpen, but nobody on, 2 outs. And now the Braves down to their final strike. And 1 strike away from being shut out for the 6th time this year and dropping to 3-22 when they've scored 3 runs or less this year. 25 times in 53 games. It's 2-2.
At another game that Jurgens didn't get any run support.
Yep.
Ken Maka's a pretty good hitter in the minor leagues. I played against him in Double-A. He won the Eastern League batting title 100 years ago.
Edged you out by a point, didn't he?
Several.
Line caught by Counsell, and a bullet ends the game. A 2-hit shutout for Giovanni Gallardo and Carlos Villanueva. 400th career managerial win for Ken Maka. The Brewers, one of 5 National League teams